Yes. Indeed. Oh, it's the same beginning. Yes, I did. How's everybody doing? We're doing some Picotron today. Some prototyping, some game deving. Hi, I'm Iris. Alright, this is our game. Boop. Boop, boop. I mean, it's a little bit silly when you know what's happening. Let's put a spoiler button. Now I'm like thinking. So I posted in the Discord, but yesterday my hand is hurting. Yesterday I finally beat Silksong. Well, I had the bad ending. I don't know what to say. I know what to say. I had lots of notes about Silksong, but I have mixed feelings about it. One of the main reasons why I have mixed feelings about it is that the game receives such universal praise. I like a lot of things about it, but I feel like you don't have to mention them because everybody likes this stuff. So I'm more concentrating on the negatives that I feel like nobody, or not nobody, but I feel like to kind of like even out the discussion around it. So I like to feel a more even, like to have a more of an even-handed discussion about it. Everybody's sort of like gushing like, oh, this is the best game I've ever played. It's a big game. And all the positives and negatives that go around with it. It's the difficult game with all the positives and negatives that go around it. But yeah, like thinking about the ending, something that's probably, I mean, I have so many takes on this game. Something that is like immediately the most annoying, or not the most annoying, the thing that left a bad taste after the ending is that the bad ending is a bad ending. Like it's kind of like a nothing ending. You just don't really know what happened there, really. And it's like it feels like emotionally just like a little bit off. Like none of that what happened was really properly set up, so you don't feel like you have like this conclusion to anything. Like it's just like, what was that? I don't know. Like it doesn't even, you don't even know if it's a tragedy or good. Like you just don't have a way to interpret what just happened. It's just like some scenes that they showed me. I mean, I guess I can think of what it could mean, but like I need the game to tell me this is the ending, you know. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is that I compare this to the ending of Hollow Knight, which the first ending that you get, the bad ending, so to speak, is a really satisfying ending, actually. It definitely wants you to, like, it inspires you to keep playing because there's like, clearly you can do more maybe. But also it's a conclusion, like it's a final note, like it has this what's the term for this? Closure. And I think the Silksong ending just like is a little bit too convoluted to deliver that. It's just like, it feels like it wasn't designed with that in mind. Okay, so we need stabbing, we need scoring. Okay, so I feel like this is the part where we need maybe two containers. Let's call it menu box. And the other one's we're gonna call debug box. Okay, let's put it both at the same time. I'm just like easing myself in right now. I'm just like not in it right now. But I do want to have this. Like, I don't know, maybe putting everything in one Lua file is a little bit bad. I need to get those edits where people can draw in here. Like I saw Wash did like this thing where you can have graphics in here, which you can do in the real game, but like I would have to have like a gizmo that allows me to draw in here. Oh, I just realized something amazing. We can, this is actually cool. We can actually put functions in the array and then create buttons like this. That's actually sick. Oh, let's do that. That's cool. Let's try this. And then it's gonna be menu box that gets this. All right. Oh, I didn't attach that menu. There we go, that's our menu. Hey, easy peasy for breezy. Will that work? Is that something that it seems like it's working, dude? That's cool. By the way, I want to know something. How do you draw something in here? How does that work? What? Oh no. Stat 1. No. How to check CPU usage? It's a freaking TikTok. I don't wanna print H. Ooh. Is it print H? It was print H in Pico 8, but it didn't print in a status necessarily. Yeah, I wonder. I think it's apps. It's not terminal. Lib. Maybe it's an event that you need to do, huh? Hard to say. Hey, SPU streams. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to print something in the status window. You know, when there's a bug. This here, where does that come from? What is this? You know, is this always here? Huh. It's not tool tray, right? Because that's here, this part, right? No. It's not about, it's not capture. It's probably not code. It's not settings. It's not the map editor, it's not the notebook. Maybe it's terminal? Hard to say. I don't even know if you can print something on the screen. Let's see, Picotron readme. Status. Okay, what about debug? Print a string to the host operating system. Oh, there's asserts even. If condition is false, stop the program and print message if it's given. Yeah. Oh. There is an error. Let's try that. How does that work? Oopsenhausen. Ah! Haha! Okay. So what this is called a stack trace. How do we access that part? Can we put something in a stack trace? Really? I think it might be something that is related to the code editor. Okay, so we need to print stuff on the screen. There is no built-in debugger. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go stab, and then we're gonna go pass, or cache out. Hi, I might not stick around because I'm sleepy here. Is ABS your NOP? I'm not sure what NOP is, but I'm using it as a dummy. I will put my function in here later. Ah, no OP. I still don't know what no OP is, but I'm assuming you mean that if this is supposed to be like an empty function. Yes, I'm usually just using ABS. it's a leftover from Pico 8 development, because like in Pico 8, creating a dummy function costs tokens, so it's better just to use a different function that does nothing. So, can I define a function here? I can, right? Like an inline function? Yeah, I can. And an end, yeah, okay. Uh-oh, there's a debug var. Oh, that's good. False. Oh, no. There's a G missing. Debug var. Okay. Good catch. I have to say, something that's really nice looking at how other people solve a system, like especially Zep did the GUI system here, is it's interesting how a lot of stuff is done in the draw function. So for example, something I would expect, and it's not happening here, is I would expect buttons to change colors in the hover function, in the dedicated hover function, and then the draw function would just draw blindly whatever color it was set to, right? But the way Zep solved this is interesting. The way you just have a click function, just functionalities encoded, and all the GUI behavior, all the responsiveness and the juiciness, so to speak, that's in the draw function. So so you don't have to remember a state for the button, so you don't get any state problems. State problem would be when a button lights up when you move your mouse over it, and it changes the state into highlighted, and then you move the cursor away from the button, and somehow the button doesn't realize that the hover isn't happening anymore, and then it stays highlighted even though the mouse button is no longer there. And it's interesting that Zep side-skirts the problems, but just bloating the draw function a little bit. So the draw function is just like, okay, is there a mouse over this button? If so, then highlight it, you know? It makes it a little bit leaner. Like the entire system is over leaner, but also the draw function becomes a little bit more complex. I like it for buttons. I'm wondering if there's some problem later on because of that. Because like you might have situations, especially in games, where you hover over something and that causes something somewhere else to happen. I do like overall that it's in draw, but I worried if multiple elements overlapped. Yeah, I mean, we had that yesterday. It will just always... What does it do? I think it just like reacts to the topmost one. And you can set elements to be ghost to let mouse events through. Right, what were we working on? We were working on debug val, and I wanted to, when I draw the card, I wanted to only draw this value here if debug val then. See? Now the button doesn't react. Oh, so that's not the top one. Oh, because we have two GUIs. Or we have two GUI containers, so to speak. Do we, though? Oh, no. Huh. And then we don't need this. We're not gonna, the debug stuff, we don't need to have an array. You see, now it's reacting correct properly. I need a good reason to dive into Picotron. I feel like I have so many other things to take in my... I know, I know, right? So this is nice because now we can just like position this somewhere. I still have not a good feeling for the screen. Like I don't have a good feeling for the screen. It's not that I have a bad feeling. It's just like I don't feel the size of the screen very well. Okay, see. Boop boop. So we have a little place to put buttons to do stuff with a game. What happens? I wonder what happens if we take one of the menu buttons and we make it wider. Is that possible? Oh! All right. Oh, that's nice. So we can like format them this way, right? Stop. Oh! Huh. Yeah, the rect is doing some good work here. See? Ah, very nice. Can we make them bigger? We can make them bigger too. Oh, but they default to the top, which is fine. I mean, I need to return to Zelda. I need to play Tears of the Kingdom a little bit more. Wasn't that a nice game? I hear people hate it. And isn't that a good reason to play it more? The gamers! The gamers are at it! Oh man, I've been playing too much Silksong. I need to put in like a Silksong vacation, in a sense that vacation from Silksong. Like for next week, no Silksong anymore. I need to my tendons need to recover. I've been like cramping up on the controller. I didn't feel very attracted. I think you're talking about Tears of the Kingdom. But I love the opening area, and I don't think it's a bad game or anything. IDK. There is a really good video, or not a really good, very fun video to watch. About a real fan of Breath of the Wild discussing Tears of the Kingdom and why it's a bad game. It's interesting what's the stuff. I think it's a she focuses on. Could be a they. I'm not sure. And what let's say they what they focus on is like lore stuff. And very much focusing on like stuff that was hinted at in Breath of the Wild, but never followed up upon in Tears of the Kingdom, which is fair critique, but also just like maybe you're taking this game a little bit too seriously. Which I know is a little bit of a bad answer, but yeah, I think the problem is that Zelda, the franchise Zelda, is just a fun video game. And it's not supposed to be like this whole lore thing. And because once you get into the lore of Zelda, I think you get into hot waters. I don't think the devs of Zelda ever think about Zelda that way. It's not being designed to be like this kind of lore, vehicle for lore. It likes to hint at it, I think. It likes to create the aesthetics of there being lore, but it doesn't actually follow through on all of these things, which is fair criticism of Zelda. But also, if you go into it with those expectations, you are setting yourselves up for disappointment. There's some minor things that I think she's probably right on, or they probably right on. Yeah, but man, come on, Tears of the Kingdom. I have to say, Breath of the Wild gets the advantage of being just like one hell of a, how we call it, not the reach. Yeah, like one hell of a, like it just comes out of nowhere and just like bam, it just arrives completely. Like I don't think the world was prepared for Breath of the Wild, and the Sheikah Guardians vanishing made me feel good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's basically the whole video. It's like, hey, where did all that tech go? And all of the lore of Tears of the Kingdom is kind of like a little bit inconsistent with the lore of what came before. I got lost at the very beginning, didn't know where to go. I didn't feel like looking up in the middle of play, but then never returned. Still want someday though. My dock since died? You mean your Switch dock? Oh my gosh. Where did you get lost, by the way? I'm interested. When did you get, because I'm very much into getting stuck, how people fall off playing games. Where did you get stuck? Did you get stuck in the plateau in this tutorial section, or did you like go down from the plateau and then get stuck? Can we change a cursor in this game? In this system? Okay, let's play the game for real. Okay. Boop, boop. Arg. Okay, so this is definitely safe. This could be an 8, 9, or 10, which is not good. 6. Ooh, that means that this is probably the vampire, huh? Ooh! High stakes strikes again, yes! It's been a while. I think I was supposed to go down from a plateau. Yeah, maybe. I think I was supposed to go somewhere and accidentally turned off. Oh, yeah. Something that is amazing about Breath of the Wild, and I agree it's not as good with Tears of the Kingdom, is this tutorial section, and generally the entire structure of Breath of the Wild I think is kind of amazing. It can also make me a little bit think about Silksong as well. Because Zeldas and Metroidvanias used to be kind of like, they're almost the same type of game, where you have some base abilities, but then you go explore the world and you go into different areas of the world, right? And in different areas of the world you gain more abilities, which then reflect back on different other areas that you've been before. It's like this open world, but you unlock your abilities and that abilities unlock new areas and so forth. Zelda is a little bit more formulaic, maybe a little bit, than Metroid. Because it has like these, encapsulated dungeons, which Metroid doesn't have. But something that is amazing about Breath of the Wild is that they kind of changed the formula there, and I think nobody really noticed because I don't see this happening in other games, or I definitely don't see this happening in Metroidvanias, which maybe it should. Where the game kind of starts you out with a lot of the abilities that you need. And that's this plateau version, right? It just you have like little Metroidvania at the beginning where you get all of the abilities. And then that's all you're gonna have for the rest of the game. And then you get some additional ability on top. And some of them change stuff, but all of this is happening on top of an already pretty diverse set of skills. And I think, for example, something like Silksong, I mean, just because I played it just most recently, I feel like a lot of this stuff that you unlock maybe should have been unlocked from the beginning or very early on. I think like that kind of area where you just get, you just get the dash, you get the double jump, in a quick succession very early on, in like a mini Silksong, and then you let loose on the world. I think that would have been better. Because it works very well in Breath of the Wild, because it actually emphasizes the open worldness of it. You no longer have this problem that you arrive in an area and you need to communicate clearly, like, okay, is this actually something that you can do right now, or do you have to wait until you get the thing? And what's the thing that will allow you to get through here? You always can assume that the player will have everything that they need. Yeah. But it requires like a lot of more, like first of all, it's a bold design decision, because you can like front load all of your skills. It puts a lot of stress on the players, which they did wonderfully in Breath of the Wild. They ease you in very well. they show you very, lots of different skills, but they like, okay, here's a little test area for you to figure all this out. And yeah, you need to be bold, you need to prepare players correctly, and also you need to, and it requires a lot of ingenuity, because then it's like, what are you going to do with the rest of the game? And then you still have to give players that they are feeling that they get something in the open world, like there's skills or stuff for them to acquire. But that goes on top of the stuff that you already have, right? So it's like you have to come up with a lot more cool stuff that you can do. That's a problem. Like I think Silksong also taps into a problem that Silksong also falls into, or like lots of Metroidvanias, where it's like, okay, let's just take a cool game and let's just chop it up into like just remove all of the skills, and so it's a bad game, and then you make player work of fixing the game by acquiring all the skills. And then it's like, okay, what kind of skills are we going to remove from the player? Like, okay, double jump and dash. And it's like very formulaic, all the same skills all the time. And then there's nothing, like, it's hard to expand upon this system, right? It's kind of hard to, okay, once you have the double jump, once you have the dash, what else are you going to get? And quite often the answers are not that exciting. And there's not a lot of them as well. Like Silksong has 3 dashes. It has the dash, it has the claw shot, which is grappling hook, but it's actually a dash because you can grapple to nothing. So it's a dash. And then you also later on get a silk skill that is also a dash that damages. It's like, okay, how many dashes do we need? It's like that meme, like, boo, get better material, and it's like all the cards are dash. Not sure how to best put it. I do try to formulate it proper, but maybe, like, I think the biggest thing for me is that the same map, just like not super compelling. Like, just sure, adding stuff alongside it helps, but also I feel like it sets my expectation higher. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's also the criticism that quite often you went to an area that was like, oh, there's something there, and then you go there and it's like, oh no, it's just nothing. Or like what you thought would be there, it's not happening. It's not being picked up. Like the mystery that an area suggested is not being followed up upon, but instead it's just like it's basically the same, but slightly different. Yeah, it's a little bit. I understand that, but also like it's kind of nice to return. I thought it was very nice to return to like a familiar place. So I don't know. I will say that I love all the new creatures. I think they're very interesting and help make you feel better. Yeah, it does a good job at that. You don't really gain abilities, but the game teaches you how to use your abilities in different ways. I need to play. I generally love that. That's something that I think is the best type of Metroidvania, or like this gating kind of structure stuff, is where you can, if you can knowledge gate stuff. So it's like you could do this all the time, you just didn't know. And then we set it up so that you discover that something that you could have done this all this time. You don't unlock something, you unlock the knowledge in your head. I think that's the best. That's the best feeling. I tried to do this a little bit in in Pork-like. I set up certain encounters in Pork-like. Certain interactions in Pork-likes are knowledge gated. I mean, roguelikes generally lend themselves very well for that, because you don't want to have a state in a roguelike. I know it's changed by this time. Now the roguelike is like this meta progression thing. But it used to be that roguelike would always reset you down to how you started, like an arcade game. And you couldn't unlock abilities that persist over multiple playthroughs. So knowledge gating is a really good method for the traditional approach to roguelikes. Oh man, I'm getting distracted here, and I don't have too much time today. So I really want to implement the system the way it was, the way I initially had it. So I want to have a stakes counter. Ba, 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 ba. I'm not sure it's a Metroidvania, but I feel the same about maybe old exploration platformers, like having the confidence and knowledge rather than items to do anything. I really tried my best with Holy Chasm to channel my inner Barbuta. I feel like I could do better. Oh man, I need to play more Barbuta. Barbuta is a game that I need to have like a sheet of paper to graph out the map. What do you mean with old exploration platformers? Can you clarify? Like, I think Barbuta is a bit difficult to talk about because it's like it's pretending to be old, but it's not actually old. Do you have a specific old game that you are talking about? Yeah, Dizzy's Adventure is, man, I never really played Dizzy's Adventure, but I probably should, right? People love that stuff. It's a Commodore 64. Maniac Miner. Huh. You know what Maniac Miner reminds me of? Man, Commodore 64 stuff. I never played a lot of Commodore 64. I played a lot of Atari 130 XE. There was a lot of overlap between those two systems, but not that much. There is actually, is it? There is a Mr. Robot Atari game. That was my first game that I was really into. It's not Mr. Robot, the TV series. There is a different Mr. Robot, which is very confusing. You have to type in Mr. Robot video game Atari. There's a platform, but it was like a screen based game, so it wasn't necessarily an exploration platform. It was like you finish a screen and then you move on to the next screen. What is the one that I mean? There's one. What is the one that I meant? Well, okay, I remember there was a Zorro platformer on an Atari. That was really good. Bruce Lee on the Commodore and Atari were also pretty good. Montezuma's Revenge. Yeah, Montezuma's Revenge. Yeah, that's the one. Oh man, that's like the original Spelunky. Yeah, Montezuma's Revenge. That's probably, I think, the game that we're all aping. Yeah, that feels very much like Barboa. Very much inspired Spelunky, inspired La Mulana, you know, all these things. Yeah, it's Mr. Robot was Donkey Kong, yeah. You can't really. It was, yeah. It's more like Donkey Kong and Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the Game Boy. Like it's all screen based. It is platform. It is very awkward platforming, and it's also like it has a bit of Pac-Man in it because there's like dots on the platforms, and you actually have to pick up every dot. So you have to visit every platform in the level, and that's actually interesting because it's like not so much about getting from A to B, but also finding out how to path through the platforms. It was a very cool game. I mean, probably just like lots. I haven't played it in a couple of years. Probably lots of rose into the glasses, but the rainbow effect on platforms was really cool. Oh, you can play Montezuma's Revenge on the NES? That's sick. Yeah, on the Switch. All right, let us not get distracted. Not any more than we have to. So I'm actually thinking of just, for the first time, I'm actually draw something manually on the screen. Oh, damn. I've been relying on the GUI stuff a little bit too much, I think. All right. Stakes. No, it's fine. I always love that genre, and whatever you call it, it would love to do more. Yeah, and I was really happy with calling it Chasm, at least the input and level design. But I feel like it didn't do great in like the live gimmick, or some parts of the map are kind of crummy. I mean, it's a Pico 8 game, right? There's just so much you can do. This is the nice thing about Pico 8. You always have the excuse. It's just a Pico 8. Once you get into bigger engines, like there's no excuse. Let's draw this on the screen. Can we do like a dark red 24? Let's go 24 or 22. Let's go 24. Why are we not getting it? Oh, by the way. Oh, yeah. Silly me. Silly me. We actually want to draw a game. There we go. There is the stakes. Now let's make it /caret wide / tall stakes. Yes, there's our stakes. Hey PJB Gamer, how are you doing? I'm having a good time, thank you. Yeah. Good to have you with us. Oh, there we go. Isn't that an indicator? I'm doing okay. Just woke up from a nap after coming from... Oh, wow. Waking up from a nap. Isn't that the feeling to have as a human being? Oh, Montezuma's Revenge is on Steam? The Nintendo, the Switch version looked kind of crummy. It looked like a bad emulator running in a window. I mean, this also looks like an emulator. The screenshots have a window around them. What? Oh, there's a modern version. Oh no, the modern version is cursed. Okay, now we have to let's appreciate this for a second, please. Let me try it. What is happening? What on earth is happening? What is this? That's not how you do a remake. Oh no! Oh no! Montezuma didn't deserve this. Like, why is there a window around the screenshot? Can't they manage to make a screenshot with the window removed? And also, otherwise, what is this? Why is this here? And it is, I don't know what the 00 is. I haven't played it in a while. And it's I love how this looks like made with the AI. How old is this? Could have been done with AI, huh? The thing that really drives me insane, first of all, it's oh my gosh, this is no, I want to see the full screen. Retro wide, oh my gosh. Can we see this? Can we make this big somehow? Wait, let me. Oh, there we go. So I love how this guy just doesn't look like this is all painted, digitally painted. Looks like digitally painted. The sombreros are cartoony. This is pixelated, so it's already 3 different visual styles. This door is cartoony, black and white. Montezuma is, the character is, I'm not even sure what he is. I guess cartoony, but also he kind of tries to follow the blockiness of the original sprite, which I don't think does him a lot of favors. And then it's the skull down here. You can see they didn't manage to do the alpha transparency, right? Probably they have a graphic and they did cut it out and it left some white pixels around the border, which is a common issue when you have anti-aliasing and you need to get rid of it. But it just looks super dodgy. And it's it has the beginner game development issue where all of the graphics are not created with, how big they will appear on the screen in mind. And so you get very thick outlines on those doors. These are very thick outlines compared to the very fine outlines on this conveyor belt here, right? It's nothing is consistent in terms of sizing. It's just they just made a whole bunch of graphics and then later scaled them down to the size that they will actually have on the screen. It's incredible. Yeah, I know, right? The bloom maybe is because the bloom is also weird because it's bloom, right? So it's kind of you get on top of the screen effects, but also the fire looks a bit cartoony. I don't even know. That could be fourth style. Yeah, it looks like a Kit Bash. That's true. But also they're so specific. I'm not sure if it's Kit Bash because it's this character definitely is reminiscent of the sprite of the original guy. And this level layout here, that's the level layout. And it's drawing these vines in here, that's not trivial. So I wonder if they hired an artist, told them to create the backgrounds. Here's the pixelated graphics of the original, and then draw over this. And then somebody else does the characters. And whenever somebody else puts everything together, it seems like the people who made this didn't talk to each other. Panama Joe. Yeah, rings a bell. It's kind of insane. Montezuma deserved better. Panama Joe deserved better. So let me... There is a click card. Similar to Hollow Knight and Celeste. It's a roguelike. Guy who ever only played Hollow Knight and Celeste. This reminds me of Hollow Knight and Celeste. Yeah, I know, right? It's the future. Okay, so actually what I want to do maybe here is actually I want to actually have a separate flip card. So all this stuff is flipped, so because this is the gameplay stuff. Because I want the auto flip at the beginning to be also flip card. Yeah, I remember that text. This looks nothing like Hollow Knight. The funny thing is, recently somebody said that. Somebody actually said that. Where was this? It was a conversation between three guys. Did they talk about it in terms of Silksong? I forgot. They actually called it a roguelike because it's run based. Yeah. Was it that or was it something else? I forgot. I should have recorded that. But you know, Montezuma walked so Celeste could double jump. Right, let's flip that card. Where is it? So when you deal cards, that's where we're doing this. I really need to have like this overview thing that a lot of GUIs have. There we go, deal cards. Auto flip. So we kind of have to already flip it here. The look is really good. It really grows on me. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna just flip it, double flip it, so to speak. The card needs to be flipped, so here we will generate the entire board state. And the problem is like we auto flip the card, and then there's some logic that follows from the fact that the card is face up. So we kind of already have to flip it before we generate the rest of the board. And I'm worried that the rest of the board will negatively interact with the flipping. So I want to flip it again at the end to actually trigger the gameplay consequences after the board has fully generated. Oh, yeah. Let's unlock tokens first and then do the vampire. Oh, yeah, right. Arg. I put it on the wrong card. That didn't. I wasted the token there. Oh, okay, that's better. That's better. The thing is, there's only the 3 left. Yeah, 2, 3 is not there. 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 3, 9, and vampire. This is either 9 or vampire. So it's here or here is the 3. Let's go here. Ah! But it didn't actually help me. I should have picked up this thing. Ah! Let's go. Ah! Let's go. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential to make really cool UI kind of stuff. Like Zectronics, you know. I need to get a little bit more. Like that's why I'm doing. Nicely done. I just got lucky. So now, this is one of the new things that I think improves the game thoroughly. I was a little bit vague about how to end high stakes. Like I was always like turn over all the cards except from the vampire, or stab the vampire, right? And it's like very complicated way to explain the rules, and I think it's just easier to say just stab the vampire. That's how it always ends, and you can whittle it down to just one card, but you still have to stab it. Like it doesn't auto stab, right? But I think that's better because it's always like the stabbing was the best part. So I wonder, can we change the cursor in Picotron? So it would be nice to have a stab icon for this. Does the vampire card actually have a vampire face? No, it does not. It's just a prototype. Yeah, I know, right? But I don't need it for prototype, but I just like wondering if it's possible. There's this little bugger, but I think it's more. Do we in the draw? Yeah, see, it does change here. You have the crosshair. See, oh, you must be able to do this. All I need to find out is really just how this is done. And then we can. But I don't want to get bogged down with this. I will do research. How to change cursor. For now, I want to create those two functions. I want to put them next to the flip card. Actually, let's do gameplay. Or, oh yeah, let's go gameplay. It is a little bit arbitrary. I commented my code a lot, even though it's been a while since I've opened Pico 8. I took a glance at my comments and still understand both. Yeah, that's fine. That's very good. There's different philosophies. I don't think there's one right way. I think there's just the way that works well for you. I think it's a similar thing with game design documents. There used to be a time where people were always like, you have to create a game design document for your game. Otherwise, you are not a real game developer. And there's some truth to that, like in the sense that I think approaching things formally, in a formalized way is, is a good way to professionalize. And writing things down can also help us tremendously. But there's like every method or every system of how you organize your work and every design process, that's what I was looking. Every design process has upsides and downsides. It just changes the way you relate to your work. And not every person, every project benefits the same from a certain approach. And I think a good game designer or a good developer should I think it's worthwhile to think about your process, how you process, what you need in order to get the stuff done that you want to be doing. And how does your process change positively or negatively, impact positively or negatively that thing that you're working on. Yeah. Writing good comments is important. Yeah, you don't want to be too verbose, but you want to convey the information that you actually need. And later on, you have to like put yourself in the mindset of somebody who will later on read the code. I feel like finding out how I'm comfortable programming took me a while, and part of why my current project has taken me so long. I'm not sure I'd be the best for some. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think it's very personal. It must be a nightmare working in a company where multiple people are looking at the same code. It's like, what? So when you're clicking, oh yeah, it's self and MSG. Yeah, okay. And then do vampires, I guess, also. Okay, so I wonder if this should be a function. I think it probably should. So we have an array. I'm gonna print let's go like this. Then here we don't need that stuff anymore. We can just do like a regular text line. No, do message. Here. And then that just ends. And then here, well, first of all, let's just do it like this. Let's see if this breaks. Probably it does, right? 23. Oh. Let's go the vampire. Arg. Oh, now it's not drawing anymore. Yeah, I know why. So. Okay, this good. This works. I kind of want to. How are we looking on time? I at some point I have to pick up my daughter. Can we do like a double? Does that work? I don't hate that. If I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, that's a good message box. I think, how tall is this text? I'm not sure how tall a text is. Yes, it is. Chris. Yes, it is Chris. Chris. My superior genetics. What's happened? What happened? For it is I, the real Dawn Reaver. Now that sounds like a Silksong boss. Just checking what the spacing is on a text. Oh, Jesus, Photoshop. How is a company like Adobe still alive? I don't understand. It's probably the best example for why meritocracy is a lie, and how capitalism is a really bad way to distribute resources. Height 11, okay. Now this is what we call pod racing. What? Listen. It's sometimes progress is not immediate, right? You know what's better, what's worse than writing 10 lines? Writing 0 lines. 10 lines is in heaven is better than 9 lines in heaven. I'm also not being very productive today, but hey, we're doing something. Vampire. Okay. See, this is all what we needed. I know, right? Hey, Britsky. This is a little bit of a hack, but whatever. It's not pretty. We're not winning pre-code contests, right? And then when we click on a card and stab, does it work? I think it works, right? Oh no. Wait, stab? I think it was click stab, wasn't it? Click stab? Yeah, stab click. Cache click. Do. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, Wash! Oh, everybody's here. How's goes taming with the GUI system? It works. I'm getting warm with it. I think I'm getting the hang of the Picotron. Generally, the system works. I need to establish some practices. that work for different projects, but we're hashing it out. So we're clicking on step here. Something that I want to do is face down. Face down, right? Ah, see? So like this. So now, oh. What happened with step? What is with step? Oh, there's the then missing. Oh. It would be nice if this stayed like this, right? We can do this. It's just like, just want to make sure of this. Well, we'll be ending the stream in a second. Just letting you know, so you're not surprised when this suddenly happens. I have to pick up my daughter real quick. I just want to see the difference. Okay, that works. Weird, how? Why is it changing color? Because it's not doing that when I do this here, right? Oh yeah, because it encodes both colors in one. So 7 is... Interesting. Yeah, 40 minutes! Wow, you've been 40 minutes here? Oh my gosh. You lurker, you. I don't want to derail you, but I haven't seen message has pointer before. Is that something built in Picotron? Yes! That's something I derived from Zep's code. It's how Zep does the hover effects. And how I decided to do hover effects as well. So basically, the draw function receives 2 parameters. That's kind of like built-in draw. Every GUI element draws itself, and that is the draw function. You define that, how the element draws itself. And that callback basically gets you 2 parameters. One is self, like a reference to the object itself, that is drawing itself. And the other one is message. And message is a kind of like a struct with a whole bunch of information about what's actually currently happening to the object right now. And message has pointer. Message has pointer, this one. If that's true, then that means the mouse button is currently hovering above that GUI element. And message MB is what the mouse is currently doing, whether it's currently clicking or not. Which is a little bit weird. There's that, like, I understand has pointer. MB being inside the message is a bit weird. I would have expected maybe a global variable here, but I mean, this works. There is also a hover. Yes, there's also a hover function. I saw that it exists, but it's not used by default by Zep, so I'm just not using it. And Zep has a comment in the GUI saying like maybe it's not necessary. So I was like, okay, if you say so, boss. I see. Can you not do this? Why is it gray? Why is the outline gray? Is there a border property? All right, guys, it's gonna be a bit sudden, but we have to edit here. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I will not stream tomorrow. I have a thing happening tomorrow. I will stream again on Friday. So, thank you for joining me. See you next time. Bye bye.